Welcome to episode 426 of the Red Dirt Agronomy Podcast. I am Dave Deken, and have we got a great episode for you. We're fortunate to live in a part of the world where even though surface water can be scarce, usually water can be found below the ground. Now with that said, we've been pulling water out of the ground at an unsustainable rate in certain areas. This week we're talking about irrigation and the science behind efficient use of it with Oklahoma State University's Extension Specialist for High Plains Irrigation and Water Management, Dr. Sumit Sharma. We'll talk with Sumit in just a minute, but first, if you're new to the Red Dirt Agronomy Podcast, welcome, and go ahead and hit that follow button where you get your podcasts so you'll always get the latest episode every time that they drop. And as always, you can find links, resources, and past episodes online at reddirtagronomy.com. Before we dive into the discussion, let's take a quick trip around the table for an introduction to the dream team of dirt and everything that grows from it. Starting with Oklahoma State University Extension Precision Nutrient Management Specialist.
I came in with no breakfast, so I'm scratched. Yeah, you need to go.
Dr. Brian Arnall. And across from him is Oklahoma State University Extension Cropping System Specialist.
Maybe Brian needs a donut too. Can you go get Brian a donut as well?
Dr. Josh Lofton. And we round things out with a postdoctorate in the Plant and Soil Sciences Department.
Yeah, it's the pivot. The linear is probably sideways in the field by now. But
Dr. Raedan Sharry. Now, with all the formalities out of the way, let's kick things off with our conversation with Dr. Sumit Sharma that we recorded on October 16th, 2025. Without further ado, on to the episode. You are listening to the Red Dirt Agronomy Podcast.
So our guest for this podcast is Dr. Sumit Sharma. He is our row crops irrigation specialist, but I bet if you wanted to irrigate water, you could do... So let's try this again.
Are you qualified to irrigate water?
Maybe Brian needs
row,
a donut
row
too.
your corn.
I do
you
need
go.
donut as well.
I came in with no breakfast.
You need
so I'm
irrigation to
scratched.
grow water.
Yeah,
I
you
thought
need
so.
to
I
go.
thought you needed irrigation to grow water.
There are people that would say that. All right, so welcome to the podcast, Dr. Sumit Sharma. He is our row crops irrigation specialist, and as I tried to say the first time, I bet you would water wheat also.
Oh, okay.
That's
I like
where
that.
I was
Yeah.
going,
I
yes.
think he has probably
I have
watered
not.
some wheat in his
No, I
day.
have not worked
Really?
on wheat yet. No.
Huh.
Well, maybe we do that.
They do that in
Oklahoma, yes.
Oh, yeah,
in
we-
Oklahoma, but
we do irrigate wheat.
He's
yes, but
irrigating
I
for
have-
wheat this morning.
yeah, it's the pivot. The linear is probably sideways in the field by
Yeah,
now.
we do irrigate
Yeah.
wheat in
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yes, but I have not worked on irrigation in wheat.
We're actually
Okay.
irrigating soil right now because we have no crop because we can't get the grain drill in the ground, so we got to pre-irrigate, which is a panhandle thing.
wow, yeah. Okay, I was thinking like northwest Kansas. That's where I was thinking they irrigate wheat up there, but evidently here in Oklahoma too.
Noble County too.
Really? Oh, okay.
Oh
That
yeah,
close.
wheat consumes water.
Ah,
So
Hard-hitting statements.
yes. So
Oh, no.
Dr. Sharma,
Yes.
let's. It's been a year 3 since we've had you on the podcast. Why don't you remind everybody about what you do in the state and for OSU?
I think last time we had him on, he was judging parades out in the out in
Panhandle.
Guyman.
Yes.
He was still a resident of the Panhandle,
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah.
Yes.
He was an
like
honorary
the-
mayor.
I think it's the
Marshal.
marshal. What is it, Grand Marshal or whatever?
Yeah, I got free tickets for judging the parades.
What were the
What?
tickets to? Rodeo?
Rodeo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pioneers Day Rodeo.
Yeah.
All 3
Nice.
days.
Oh, yeah.
All 3 days.
I had 2 tickets. I could take somebody with me, but I did not.
$7.5
I wanted both seats to myself.
This is fantastic podcasting right now.
So what's new since those days?
So I started as faculty when I was still in the Panhandle in 2020, and I was assistant extension specialist, non-tenure track. I think that was one of its first kind of position that was created in the department or in the college. So in 2023, I got promoted and moved to Stillwater as an assistant professor, tenure track faculty.
Oh, cool.
Yes, so I can have students now.
And he's got quite a few.
Yeah.
It did not take him long to build a program. So tell us about your program. What are you doing? What are your students doing?
So most of my program is still concentrated in Panhandle. So the work I started over there, I received grants to continue it. So I'm still doing that. Big picture, we are trying to grow corn with less water in that region, so that we have a few projects going on, and we are focusing on limiting well capacities or limited irrigation, that either by, say, if you are regulated, because Panhandle research is not just limited to Panhandle. It's such a narrow strip. It's looked by Texas Panhandle. It's Southwest Kansas also looks into it. So we are looking at corn production if we are limited on water through regulation, or if we are limited on water through well capacity. So we have both projects going on, looking at different hybrids. We are also involved in a regenerative agriculture project, and we are trying to incorporate some cover crops, intensifying the cropping systems over there, and that's a dryland project that's going on for 5 years now, 4 or 5 years now. So that, and then I am continuing this project I started in 2022. It's about to. This is the last year we will be collecting the field data, and that is we're trying to grow cotton with limited well capacities over there.
Oh wow!
We have issues with low number of degree days that you can run into every year. Not every year, every other year, or you never know. Trying to see if you limit water on cotton, if it enhances its maturity. So we are trying to look at that, and we are doing it in rotation with corn, because our hypothesis was that if cotton's coming to moving north, it will come as an alternative crop. It will not be the main crop.
Right.
So it has to be grown with some existing cropping system. So those are the projects we are doing, and I'm trying to get into some modeling as well. I have not started, but I have students who have started working on these things. They're learning models, so trying to get some modeling work in my program as well.
So Sumit, you've talked about growing degree days. Can you talk about what is that, and then how does that change from, say, eastern Oklahoma and Ottawa County out into the High Plains?
So growing degree day is it depends upon the high temperature and the low temperature of the day you have had, and there's an equation you can calculate it through. The higher the temperature you have in a day, the more growing degree days you accumulate. Moving from east to west, the elevation changes in Oklahoma. So, for example, Stillwater is 900 feet. Goodwill, Oklahoma in Essex County is 3,300 feet. Yes. So the growing degree days will be less in Goodwill, Oklahoma because of elevation, because the number of hotter days will be less, and the nights are cooler. So cotton needs growing degree days. Cotton needs heat to complete its life cycle. And we usually sometimes run into a situation where you have late freeze or early freeze. Sometimes mild summer like we had this year. So those are the big major challenges that we face in cotton production. And a lot of people sometimes get surprised. Goodwill, Oklahoma is at 3,300 feet elevation. You know what Garden City is? Oh. Garden City is 2 hours north of us.
Yeah.
You would expect it to be higher elevation than us.
Yeah.
It's actually lower.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
I think about 500 feet.
Wow.
Yes. Hugoton, I think, might be, not Hugoton, Liberal, Kansas, might also be a little bit lower. I don't know the number. But there are more chances of growing successful cotton crop in Beaver County than in Texas County, and they are only 40 minutes apart.
That's
locations.
amazing.
Yes. And then if you move in Cimarron County, in Boise City, which is 45 minutes an hour from Goodwill to Boise City, you add another 900 feet of elevation. That's how it gets very high up there.
Which you would think, being closer to the sun, it would be warmer. No, that's not how that works. That's not.
It's known to be really warm on top of the Rockies, Dave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. That's why they make that beer up there, right?
So-
yeah.
It's a common known trope.
Right, yeah.
So
Death Valley's really cold, and the top of the Rockies are spicy.
yeah, so growing degree days are I think if I remember correctly, I think the number was about 1400. That was a model that came out of a manuscript that was published, I think, in 2007. I'm sure more work has been done after that. So that has been a challenge with cotton production, but with water going down, some farms may not be able to grow corn sustainably. So you want to have alternative that you can grow, that you can sell, right? And cotton is just south of us. There are gins. There's a gin in Moscow, Kansas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there is a gin in Stratford, Texas. So they are right there. You have the market right there, and there are people, crop consultants, who have experience with it. So it had the right ingredients right there, but it's just the environmental conditions. With the advance of new cold germ seeds and short maturity variety, so it has opened a little room to explore the production. So that's why we started this project, and we got lucky. It was funded through USDA.
The whole concept, everybody has always said that cotton is a better water use crop. But in reality, they're very close to corn. So what is the true value of it out there? Because, you're talking about 25 inches compared to like 30 inches kind of thing.
Cotton will respond to irrigation, yes. And our previous work has shown about 14 inches actually of irrigation on a normal year will be enough for cotton in that area, because the ET rates are lower than what you would expect in south, because like I said, the nights are typically cooler. They're supposed to be cooler. So when we are saying 25 inches might be the total ET, and then that 25 inches on a normal year may also include 10 inches of rainfall, right? So 14 inches is what Jason Warren's work had showed us, like 10 to 14 inches is enough for cotton in that area.
So you guys are being able to grow similar amounts with 10 less inches, not just to corn, than traditional cotton growing regions.
Yes, I'm a little tight-lipped on the yield, because
You're what? Tight-lipped on the yield?
The yield, because we are talking about the hybrids or varieties which we might be growing over there may not be that long maturity. So that sure, it might, if we are growing Phytogen 205, it's short-statured, short maturity, and then you expect a little less yield in that area. So there are some limitations, but I have seen Brian growing 4 bales of cotton up there on his studies, and that was Phytogen 411. Yes, but our research has shown, work Jason has done, is that you can grow corn on 14 inches. Yeah, you don't need that much of water for cotton over there. Did I say corn?
Yeah.
No, cotton. Cotton in that area, you don't need 25 inches. No.
So if you were decreasing the amount of physiological water use from, let's say 25 is the accepted throughout, or let's say 20, we'll go less, but you're decreasing it down to 14. Where are you using it less? Is it throughout the whole year, or we're not having to pre-water as much, we're not having to do as much late season? Like, where are you gaining that benefit from?
Early on, that you can hold a little bit of water, because if you are starting with a good profile, that you want that cotton to grow a little bit of roots. Like this year, I started our we don't get that hot early on. So our ET requirements are not that high. We plant in May. We're still having nights which are into 60s, unless you are in a drought or a heat wave is going through, like we saw in 2022. So early on is where you can hold water and you can actually help the roots grow. You don't want to water early on too much.
So
that's the reason.
So the whole like thing of giving them adverse conditions early is benefiting that crop. You hold by that.
Say it again.
By cotton going through adverse conditions early, you kind of stand by that to where they can push a root, to not overwater it.
Yes.
Just making sure we're on the same page.
Yes. Yes. So the irrigation at square, and after that, once the reproduction stages start, is more critical for that cotton crop to produce yield. Early on is where you can hold back.
So I know that you've had a hand in some of the research that's the dealing with the diminished growing degree days out in the Panhandle compared to what we would expect in Southwest Oklahoma. We just have less days. So how are we making it work
in the Panhandle?
Yeah.
The key that I have found, and there people may differ over there, is the varieties. It's the varieties that can help us grow cotton. I have always done with Phytogen 205, but after looking at some 411 producing good yields, I also tried to try it and see if I short water on it, can I enhance its maturity. But
So
I have not
You're saying
received
numbers,
the data
but
yet.
I don't even know the numbers. So you got to talk about what you're saying. Phytogen numbers, and I don't even know what you're talking about.
And I'm just saying Phytogen because that's the variety that I have worked with.
Well, I mean, what's the difference between the two you're talking about? Because I don't even know the difference.
So 205 is a short maturity.
There you go.
Yes, 411 is longer maturity. So the number goes higher, the maturity goes higher. Longer.
So you think you're still getting decent yield out of 411 even though it's longer?
This is the first year I'm growing it, so I don't know the yield yet. But 205, I have got 2 bales, and I think we were just barely breaking even on that. Yeah,
well, I mean,
2 bales per acre.
Seen something like that.
Yeah.
Sorghum, our sorghum variety trials, especially under irrigation. Dry land, we need to be sub 62, sub 60 out there because that's days to mid bloom kind of situation. And we've always been told you just don't grow a 70-day to mid bloom sorghum variety out there. But when we put it under irrigation, man, it really works.
Well,
and
I mean,
longer maturity just does better out there.
What he's been looking at is one of those things that I've seen, and I've always taken it when I do the cotton research in the Panhandle. I admit I do what would be considered high risk, high reward cotton production in the high plains because I try to plant early as possible where there's risk, and I got burned last year with early rains. It just destroyed me. But if I was going early season, as early as possible out there, plant date, along with a very long maturity, which means if we had an early freeze, I was also tanked. So going early where I could have a cold rain or an early freeze or late frost get me, but I'd go long maturity where an early into the fall would also get me. But if I was open, like you often say, if I have that open spring through fall, man, it's gangbusters. So it's one of those, do you roll the dice and do you go with a short season and hope for 2 or 3 bell and you're pretty sure that you're going to get something, or do you do a longer season, go early and either insert it out or catch it where you get caught, or you have really high yield?
Well, and I will say, I mean, kind of what you were. Irrigation plays a big role in that.
Huge role.
Is that whenever you are dry land, you kind of have to fall back to those standards, 100%. Shorter seasons, shorter duration. But that irrigation, maybe it's not the best thing to do, but man, it opens the door for it to be a very viable system.
Well, but the other part of it is compared to corn or really any other crop, we have much more ability to manipulate cotton, especially as we push towards the end of the season. And if you talk to some of the growers that are really having success with the system, it's a lot more intensive, and it's nutrients, it's pesticide application as far as PGRs and things like that. It's water, it's manipulating all those things to get that crop. And it's like you said, it's like anything else. I mean, it's like corn hybrids. If you have the chance to plant a 120-day hybrid compared to a 90-day hybrid, probably want the 120-day hybrid in a lot of situations. I mean, but the other thing too, when you talked about the GDD situation, and especially the research that's out there, is going back to that gradient of that was probably developed in the Delta, or that was developed in Georgia. And there's some. I know there was some work revisited even in Tennessee and in the Boot Hill, Missouri, where they're using some shorter varieties, but they don't. I mean, they still will plant a medium maturing variety up there, even when they have the same issues at times. It's maybe not as huge, but does that GDD, that 1,400 GDDs, even matter? Because I know Dr. Bowman had some work when they were looking at cotton in the Texas Panhandle and things like that. It doesn't even line up with what's presently out there, and so it's kind of one of those things you just throw it out and go for it. I mean, so do you have any GDD work going on, really?
No, I don't. No. But yeah, he does.
Lofton does.
Someone does.
Somebody's working on it.
Yeah, us and Jenny are working on that. And you're right. Like, it's all been developed in Georgia, and it holds true if we're talking about the district.
Yeah.
It seems, but it doesn't hold true about anywhere else.
Yeah,
I think it falls further and further apart out in the Panhandle.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, and I mean, because Brian cutting 4 bales, we're off by like 500 or 600 heat units, and it's
if
like
not more.
Yeah, if not more. It's like, so it's not even an open fall. It's like we never get there.
Yeah.
It's open, but it's not as open as cotton should need,
Yeah.
and we still get there, and it's interesting. There's something. When we talked to Warren, you talked a little bit about the diurnal nature of the day, of being so valuable, of us being able to cool down that crop, and maybe that's benefiting because Tyson in Tennessee didn't see it, but of course Tennessee is how much did you say you were above sea level out there in Guyman?
3,300 in good.
Yeah, so we're talking
200?
500 above sea level to 3,300.
Yeah.
So we're talking about different parts of the world, basically. Yeah. So, I mean, that diurnal nature, I think, is even different. We manage so much different in a crop from Miami, Oklahoma to Stillwater to Lahoma to the Panhandle, and that's basically we're dealing with elevation and how cool it gets in the evenings, and that plays a big role in it. Sometimes crops like warm evenings, and sometimes they really like cooling down in the evenings.
There's a thing that's done in the Panhandle that every time I go anywhere else that has irrigation that they're always surprised about is, and you mentioned it briefly, so I want you to kind of describe it, pre-water. When you talk about water needs for the corn, you say corn, how much irrigation do you want on corn in the season?
Depends on the season.
Nah, just tell me. On average.
On average, I would say 24 to 30 inches.
Okay, that's in season.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when you say the Panhandle corn crop do you say the Panhandle corn crop gets 24 to 30 inches, or do you include the pre-water?
That including the pre-water.
Okay, so what about in season then?
In season, yeah, I mean 20, 24 inches on a normal year should meet it.
Then what's the pre-water? So I'm trying to get
So
what total for going into corn, and then the season, how much total water does corn crop get?
Total water, including rain and everything.
Irrigation.
Just irrigation.
Work with me here. We're talking pre-water and in-season irrigation.
Yeah, I would say 24 to 30.
But you just said that's in season, so there's no pre-water.
No, he said with
20 to 24 is
Okay.
in season.
24
24 to 30 is with pre-water.
Oh, so there's 6
there's a
inches of
range.
pre-water.
There can be, depending upon how much rain you get. We have applied 6 inches of pre-water once.
Oh,
what's a
I thought it was
normal
more
year, though?
Okay.
Normal year, I'd say, that's a hard number to put. 2.5, 3
I'm such a
inches.
researcher.
I'm about to say, there's only
You're such a researcher.
there's only 6 integers between 0 and 6.
Yeah.
Pick one.
Okay, I would on average I would say 3 inches.
Okay.
I thought there was a lot more pre-water. I thought we were pre-watering like 12 inches per acre per year, like getting 6 to 12 inches of pre-water down.
Oh,
to
no,
get
that's
a
a
4-footer profile.
No. That's so the rains. So let's just talk about a normal year.
Okay.
So the rains start in April.
Okay.
So we receive, say, just in Goodwill in Texas County, we have about 17 inches of annual rainfall. 10 to 12 inches come from April to September. When do we plant corn? We plant corn. We start planting corn in April, and if the rains come on during that time, that will help us save some pre-water.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine we have started pre-watering, say in March, right? We have started strip tilling, but people start strip tilling way earlier than that. Say if we are doing pre-watering early on, say in March. If you are doing it 600 gallons a minute, it is going to take you 5 days to put 1.25 inches, right, on a quarter section pivot. So you have to count that you have limitations, that you cannot put 1.25 inch or 1 inch just in one day. It's going to take few days. All right. So I would say 2.5, 3 inches, 3.25 inches is where I can see on a year where you don't have rains. But also remember, starting the irrigations at the start of the growing season can also contribute to the storage of the profile, because crop does not want that much amount of irrigation early on. So if you have skipped some pre-water because, say, in March, you are trying to you want to pre-water, but the temperatures are below freezing at the night. You don't want to freeze your pipes and everything, right? So you may not irrigate. So you try to catch up when you have planted crop and it's small and you are giving it water to hopefully it will store it in the soil. But you are also getting into the period when you are receiving probably 3 inches every month, right? 2 inches in April and 3 inches in May, and then most water we received is June, July, August.
So what else do you use pre-water for?
What else? What do you mean?
For the other water.
Huh?
For the other water.
Fires. So you've talked sorry.
Squirrels.
You've talked about it being, to maybe potentially help the crop up, but you guys use pre-water for other things, right? I mean, because it can help with...
Oh, yeah. It can help with strip tilling.
Okay.
Right? It can help with, with fertilizer as well. Sometimes the ground is very hard. Mostly we have used a little bit amount of water to just make it soft when we are strip tilling. So we are not pushing our tractor to higher limits.
Are you hunting for a dust storm?
I've heard a lot, at least in other parts of the world, use it for weed management.
Yeah.
Weed management too, yes.
I mean, that's the biggest thing, is that it's hard, especially in crops that you can't control your problematic weed. I'm going to get my first flush out of the way before I plant the crop. And so pre-watering...
You would get the volunteers out too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So really
Thank
helps
you.
with that, to bring it up so you can spray a really cheap or really effective chemical before the crop, and then put your pre's down, or to even activate your pre's.
Yes.
So it is a big thing. You do other things besides irrigation. Surprisingly, jack of all trades over here does a lot besides irrigation. You've done some millet work, so it's not just about irrigation, but it's finding cropping systems as we lose water that those growers could utilize to still make their operations work.
Yes, I tried millet. So it was an industry project. We were trying to grow millet, different lines of millets. Everything I learned about millet or heard from what they have done in Nebraska, it's sped up in Oklahoma. So one day you are heading, and it did not take much time for it to get matured. So I did only 2 years. And before I could get my 1 year, we had really good. Both years we had really good crop. One thing I didn't factor was birds.
Oh,
Millet matured before sorghum. They both were planted at the same time. And
those birds love themselves some millet.
yes, yes.
It's a standing
So,
birdseed factory.
It's a good crop. We did not give it any water, and we had lush green. Only 40 pounds of nitrogen, I think we applied. I have to look my notes. Lush green crop right there, about knee height, and drilled it, and it looked good. We managed weeds with the same pre's that we used, I think, in sorghum. But once the crop was up, we were only restricted to for pigweed. I was trying to find literature to see what herbicides we can use. We were hurting by pigweed. Yeah, and I think there was only 1,2,4-D amine that we could use. So those which were smaller. Yeah, those which were smaller in size, like the pigweeds, we were able to control it, but anything that got out of hand, it got out of hand. But I have photographs I can show if I could show. It looked good.
But it looked good. I mean, I think the overall consensus is it's a good crop, but all of y'all students keep walking by. They're fascinated by us being in here. But the market, just like it's very reliant on birdseed market and other market that might not be as open as other ones. What about something else? You and Danny have kind of talked about it, of using our irrigation to go back to more pasture land or perennial production, to where if we lose water, especially out there in that Cimarron County, that we can still make some effective use of those acreage.
Yes. So the recent drought we had in 2022, I was driving through Cimarron County, and I saw the corn stubble that was left within a year was gone.
wow.
Yes. So the high-speed winds and everything. So I don't know if if the farmer did something to it or what. All that was left was like little stubbles, like 2-3 inches above ground.
Yeah.
And the fences, after all these winds and dust storms, the fences had sand accumulated next to them. In areas where we had fire recently, it looked even worse. Yeah. So we started thinking, if we run out of water in some areas, we cannot leave these areas just like that.
Yeah.
These areas this land needs to be covered, and crop residue will not hold it for too long if you stop growing crops on it, any crop. So before we retire these lands to pasture or anything, what would it need to establish these pastures? How soon you should make a decision that, all right, I am at 200 gallons per minute. I need to start doing it because it's going to take me 3 years, maybe 4 years, 5 years. We don't know those answers yet. So that's what me and Danny started thinking about and revolving our head around. All right, what's the well capacity? When I have dropped to this well capacity, I should start thinking, all right, I may not be able to sustainably grow my regular crops for long time now. I'm at the point, and this is the time I should start planting it or seeding it with the native pasture, and start watering it.
Just being responsible.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So once that pasture is established, hopefully it will sustain itself, and that is the ecosystem over there. It's been there. It has sustained itself. and there are pastures. And I will tell you, there is resilience in Panhandle prairie. No matter how long the drought is, 1 or 2 inches of rain, you will see everything going green.
I guess as a final thing, I'd like why don't you take an opportunity to plug the Master Irrigators Program, which you were the lead on.
Yes, so that's the extension program that our team developed in Oklahoma. So when I say our team, it is Dr. Kevin Wagner, Jason Warren, me, and then Salita Gwayan. But Sali has left for Nebraska, so we have Scott Frazier and Suman Datta on our team now. We started this program. We adopted the template from Texas and Colorado. Texas started theirs in 2016. We started in 2000. Colorado started in 20. We started in 21. So it's an annual program. It's limited to only 25 producers. And we rotate in different parts of Oklahoma. So we have... we started in Goodwill, then went to Southwest Oklahoma, and then Goodwill back again, and then Woodward, and then Fort Cobb. Try to cover Western Oklahoma. So it's 25 producers. It's limited to. It comes with incentives. It's a 4-day training, 1 day per week for 4 weeks, and we cover the basics, soil water, basics, plant water, ET, and everything, and then we move to soil moisture sensors, irrigation scheduling with soil moisture sensors or crop models, and then we also cover irrigation systems, be it center pivot or drip irrigation or a little bit of surface irrigation if we are in Southwest Oklahoma. How to use these technologies, because technology is good, but as long as it's sitting on the shelf and not being used, it is of no use.
Right.
And if it is not used effectively, efficiently, then also it is of no use. So that's the whole goal about this program. The technologies which are available out there to improve water use efficiency, improve irrigation scheduling, how to use them, how to interpret the data from them, how to operationalize in farming operation. So those are the things we try to cover, along with fertility, like how to adjust fertility with the amount of water you have if you are running into difficult situation, whether it's low water or you have salt issues or poor quality water. So all those aspects are covered, and the crop growth stages, like what are the sensitive growth stages of crop when you have limited amount of water that you want to avoid. So all those questions are answered. We do have incentives. That's every participant gets about $2,000 reimbursement on purchase of any water conservation technology, and there are options for that: moisture sensor, it can be crop model, it can be re-nozzling your pivot if you're doing pivot irrigation. So those, and I think there are a few more options in that list. So that, and then every participant who completes the training gets about I think additional points for their equip applications, and then we do offer audits on well functioning, efficiency of your well, and then uniformity of the application of water from your center pivot. So we do offer that. The next program will be in Altus, and we have updated our website. The program does need registration of $100, and that usually covers the cost of, say, printing and food that we give to the participants. But it's open to industry and crop consultants as well.
Well, we'll certainly put a link to that on our website so people can. When will that be in Altus?
So Altus, the dates will be January 27th, February 3rd, February 10th, and February 17th.
Okay.
Yes. We are just about to announce and open the registration. Hopefully this week or maybe or next week. Everything is ready. Just need to get the word out now.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for going on with us, and we'll put a link to that on our website, and we look forward to having you back.
All right. Sounds
Thanks
good.
so much.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for listening in on this conversation of the Red Dirt Agronomy Podcast. And if you'd like to join the next discussion, leave us a message on our website, reddirtagronomy.com, or you can always send us a tweet. Our handle is reddirtag. We'd like to thank Dr. Sumit Sharma for joining us on this episode of the podcast. And again, if you get a chance, visit our website, reddirtagronomy.com, to find out more about Dr. Sharma and all of our guests and any of the resources we discussed today or on any previous episode of the podcast. For Dr. Josh Lofton, Dr. Brian Arnall, and Dr. Raedan Sharry, I am Dave Deken, and we all want to thank you for listening. The proceeding is a copyrighted recording of Agnow Media, LLC, 2025. And yes, all rights are reserved.